So thank you, Celine, for taking time to listen to our questions and for being part of the opening video of the 32nd EBS Symposium. Let us start with the interview real quick. When you think about the topic of this year's EBS Symposium, Adapting to Change, the beginning of a new era, how does this relate to what you are doing at your company?
Well, I founded my company in August 2020 during a global pandemic. So, of course, adapting to change is exactly what I've been doing throughout the last year, personally as well as privately, because founding a business obviously, contributes to your personal and private life as well to your business goals and your professional career. So, adapting to change is exactly what I'm doing since a year and now on.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. It's pretty brave to found a company during a global pandemic, actually. So congrats to that. And it's working quite well, actually. So, and when you think about the EBS Symposium, where do you see the biggest benefit in attending?
To be honest, I wish I would have known about this event and this networking event when I was a student, because I think that it's a great opportunity, especially for students, to meet professionals, to meet the speakers, people who you usually don't have access to. Let's be honest, you are not able to meet such personalities in your student life, in your maybe working student jobs. So I think that's a especially great opportunity for students.
Yeah, it's especially great because all our speakers come after their speech to talk to our students on our terrace. So it's great to have a wine with them and talk to them and get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, I think this is a really exclusive setup which you are creating there, which you also don't see on other universities and other events, which I've been taking part at. And as you say, if the speakers even stay for an evening event, that's really an atmosphere where you get into touch, where you can ask some personal questions also. So I think that's a really cool setup.
That's great. As you mentioned, the evening events. So the power of LinkedIn is going to be your title of your fireside chat. So can you give us some hints what our participants can expect from your speech and what message you want to convey?
Yeah. I mean, imagine yourself not applying to a job you want to take, but instead your future boss contacting you as a student asking, do you want to work at our company? And this is something that you can, achieve when you build your personal brand on a platform like LinkedIn. So what I want to help students with and professionals in general is to position yourself for your topics so that thought leaders within your industry, within your field of expertise, maybe even know you before you apply to their job, to their jobs. And I think that's a great opportunity for students, especially. And I think the earlier you start with personal branding on LinkedIn, the better it is. And the earlier you build your network, the better it is. So I really want to help with my little speech at your event. I want to help giving some first tips about how your LinkedIn profile should look like, about how you approach maybe your future boss and how you actually send messages to them, reach out to them without being impolite or without leaving this, weird and cringe image. So that's what I'm going to talk about.
That's interesting, as we as students are just thrown into the cold water without having any expertise how to address people properly who are above them or in the hierarchy. So it's great to be part of your fireside chat and to get to know some hints and details how to address them properly.
Yeah, and I think at university you learn so much stuff, so many technical skill, let's call it. And in the end, things like your LinkedIn profile and how to approach a job positions through LinkedIn is something that you are where you have like this black spot and you don't really know how to do it. And this is maybe even one of the most important things after you graduate. So yeah, definitely.
So, and when did you decide to get into branch where you are today? So as an influencer, as the largest LinkedIn influencer in Germany. So when did you decide to get into this branch?
Well, it was not really an active decision. It was more that I was just, tapping into it more and more. And I started when I was a student as well. During my master's studies, I started creating content. Back then, I was still working at a consultancy at EY. And I was basically talking about my experiences as a working student. So I shared my insights from the workshops, what I learned about innovation, about smart cities, because I've been joining the smart city team back then. And I just realized that there's a platform with many people who are actually interested interested in these topics. And then I've been looking at America, and I saw that there are already a lot of content creators on LinkedIn who actually do this as a profession. And then I was obviously thinking like, okay, if this is happening in America, it's going to be coming to Europe in quite a time, and especially to Germany. And I saw this as a huge potential for myself, to position myself, not knowing where this would actually take me. So back then I was still thinking, well, I'm going to take my job in a consultancy because I loved my job. And then it got so huge within a few months only that I decided to quit and, to start my own business and to start working as a, call it content creator, and now also founder of my own business.
Great, and it worked out quite well actually. So you have over 9,000 followers on LinkedIn at the moment, which 90. Is 90,000 exactly. And this is absolutely amazing. But many people follow you and your day, what you're doing over the day. What do you like most about your job?
What I like most about my job is to be the one to decide what I'm doing and how I'm planning my day each and every day. So I've got the freedom to actually decide which projects I take and which I don't, and which are the clients I want to work with and which are the clients I don't want to work with. And this freedom is something I realize for me personally is the most important thing in my job, to really have the freedom to create and the freedom to decide over things as well. And I'm happy that I won't ever be in a situation where someone says, you must do this, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. So I'm always the one to decide in the end, and that's a freedom I would never want to exchange to anything else.
And as you are the one who's deciding at the moment, as you founded your own company, how would you decide and describe your leadership style, and what values do you want to portray with them?
To be honest, I don't think that I've got a leadership style already. I mean, when I look back, only 3 years ago, I've been a student myself. So I'm really growing into this role of a leader, and I've never had a training or anything. So this is basically about learning by doing things. And what I always ask myself when, for example, employing new people or being in a feedback conversation with my employees today, I always ask myself, how would I want to be treated back then 3 years ago? And I remember conversations which I always told myself, I'm going to do it differently if I have the choice to lead people. So I'm really always turning. So I really always try to switch perspectives and also think from the point of view of my employee, and try to find compromises that are good for everybody. But still, in the end, you cannot always find the right way for everybody. So that's also the tough part of leading a team, which I realize now that at some point someone might be unhappy with the decision, but this is also part of being leader, accepting it and being like, okay, I see your point, still we're going to go that other way, and still bringing that motivation to a team, even though you decide differently to what the team maybe thinks. But this is also responsibility of a leader, and then being strong and also standing up for your own opinion and not letting yourself always drive by the team.
So as you have established yourself as a young CEO in the business world, what advice would you give our participants, young ambitious students, to follow in their life, but also career?
Yeah. The most important advice from my point of view is trust your goddamn feelings, because if you've got a good feeling towards something, it's going to be the right decision. And there are not only rational arguments that count, but it's all about emotion and feelings, also in business. And I realized that whenever I had a bad feeling and I took that way and that decision, I always regretted it in the end. So I would always give the advice, hey, listen to your feelings, listen to what your goddamn feelings tell you, and then go that way.
Okay, Celine, thank you so much for your tips and hints. And we're really looking forward to your fireside chat and the marketing panel in September, and see you there.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
Thank you, bye-bye.